Yo, what's good people, and welcome to another vlog. Now, this isn't my first YouTube channel, and to be fair, the first one I gave up too early on it. But everything I've done since then has led me to this moment right now. So let's get into it. So welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Drinks with Okello, aka Casio Casanova, and I make alcohol related content. So I go on tours, I make clips, I educate people about the alcohol industry, and just enjoy myself through a lot of alcohol related adventures. Today I wanted to do something different. No alcohol, no reviews, no experiences. I just wanted to let people know my story and why it is I started a YouTube channel focused on alcohol. So my first attempt at a YouTube channel was when I had a production company called Fun and Games Productions. We changed the world through productions, and Fun and Games was basically me trying to change the world through anything that I created, all the concepts. So I had a concept called Speak to the Soul. I had one about spoken word. I had a show which took off called E-Peeps, which is the one that led to the alcohol company with my friend, which I'm going to talk about later. I developed my first YouTube page, and what came of that was E-Peeps was the one that took off. Now E-Peeps was a series on the channel which was about the entrepreneurs of our generation. So I realized that the older entrepreneurs and the younger people of today, there was a gap in the middle. So what we did with this series was fill in the gap, show the next generation of people that they can do it, and really showcase the old entrepreneurs and the people coming up at that precise moment in time. I kick myself sometimes still to the day was if I had kept going. You know, you got your podcast CEOs, a lot of entrepreneurs do CEO stuff. A lot of entrepreneurs nowadays do the podcasts, the online series, etc. Back when I started it, it was unheard of. So you imagine now, if I had kept going, I was ahead of the curve, and a lot of my friends say this, and that is a theme which always happens. So looking back, I would have continued with the EP series and then just see where it would have taken me, because I know if I had continued to develop that series, the possibilities would have been endless, and the channel would have appealed to so much more people than it did then. I mean, we was on Graham Daily, we got a feature with Virgin, people speaking to me as well. I interviewed so many entrepreneurs, and it was touching because this was an idea I had in my room. So for me to let that just die how I did, I should have kept going. But sometimes as business people, even as creatives, we know that we can invest so much into something, but then we do say to ourselves, should I keep going? Should I stop? Should I keep going? Should I stop? And then there's that day when you just said, you know what, let me just leave it. And that's what happened. Before we continue the episode, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please go and subscribe. It means a great deal to me. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers, which will get me monetized. I can then bring out more videos weekly. I can up the quality of my videos. I can develop series ideas that I've got for the channel. And lastly, go on more adventures. So, if you're liking the content, please like, comment and subscribe. It really helps grow the channel. Peace. Between now and then, I tried different business things and different ideas. Some worked and some didn't, but each one taught me something valuable. And how hard it can be, I learned how to market, and I learned how difficult it is when you're building something from the ground up. And the most important lesson I've learned now is patience. patience, patience. Like people say, Rome was not built in a day. All those experiences, all those approaches, all those things taught me now how I shape this channel. This time, I'm not just posting randomly. I understand what I am building. This is more than just a brand. It's a journey. It's something that I can grow with over time because I've learned to have patience. So, I know a lot of you are wondering, why alcohol? Why make alcohol content? To be fair, when I first came up with it, I didn't realize there were so many alcohol content people on YouTube. I thought I would be one of 2 or 3, but there literally is loads. So there's loads. There's people that are specifying beer. There's people that are specifying rums. There is people that are bartenders and they've got their own channels and they teach you how to make cocktails. It absolutely blew my mind how many people make alcohol content on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So the reason why I create alcohol content was I used to own an alcohol brand with one of my friends. So the brand was called Potion Universe and the drink was called The Potion. Good name, yeah? Of course. So the slogan was pour yourself a good time. And that's what you'd always have when you drank this drink. Potion came about as my friend knew I was doing the E-Peeps series and he liked the idea. Actually, yesterday was 11 years since we went to that Newcastle trip and we got drunk, as you do in Newcastle. And my friend used to make a drink for the mandem. So this drink everyone loved. And as we were drinking one time, I said, bro, we can turn this into a business. There's nothing like it that's out there now. And I know people love the taste. So obviously you were drunk, you're saying this and that, this and that. When we came back to London, he looked into it and he said, you know what, there's a market there. Like there's a market for this drink. We first were going to make it into bottles. Then we decided to make it into not miniatures, rather RTDs, which are like ready to make drinks. So you go to the supermarket, you get your little pre-mixed drink, which is an spirit and a mixer, and that's what an RTD is. So we decided to make an RTD, and like I said before, ahead of the game. So this was like 6 or 7 years ago. So we went to trade shows, people tried the drink, they loved it. There was even an incident where a woman, she came over and she was like, this is the Black Business Show, by the way, rather, sorry. She came over and she was like, what's this drink? We explained to her what it is. And she was like, I can handle this drink. I kid you not. She took one sip, she fell back like that, and I looked at her, I looked at my friend, and we both laughed. We said, the drink is a creeper. The drink, our only drink that we had was a cognac-based, the potion was a cognac-based cocktail. And the reason why people loved it because you couldn't taste the cognac, and that's why we called it a creeper, because if you played with that drink, as soon as it decides to come out and get you, finished.
See this drink here? Can't even lie. It's one of the best ones I've had. Shout my guys, man. Serious stuff. Get me, Potion Universe.
It was through that I would go to different alcohol events, speak to different people, and really started to understand the industry and the hospitality industry itself and other industries connected with the alcohol industry. And then when we were I wouldn't say expanded, but when we're doing different things in the business, I was just like, you know what, let's do this, this, and this. Because I said, if we had made a YouTube channel and documented our journey, loads of people would have watched it because it would have been something different, been something new. And both of us are funny, like we bounce off each other, and people would have loved us, the journey, and they would have learned. But unfortunately, we couldn't do that. So I took a couple of those ideas and said, why don't I start a YouTube channel? There's a lot of things that I can do in regards to the alcohol industry and put it on YouTube. Plus, show people my journey and educate people at the same time. And as per usual, have fun. Then, Drinks with a Colour was born. I decided to go on 1 or 2 tours, and here we are. So, what you see on this channel, challenges, tastings, I'm going to have a series called Beer Diaries, which is going to be dope. There's going to be a lot of content come to this channel. I just hope you guys are prepared and you guys spread the news. And if you're watching this thinking about starting a business, a YouTube channel, or anything of that nature, please just start it. Look, you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have to figure it out. But that's all part of the learning process and the journey. If I didn't start my production company back then, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I owe it all to me just saying to myself, why not? What have I got to lose? Even if I fail, I've learned a lot in that process. Even with my other business. When I went to the alcohol business, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have been creating alcohol content right now. And if you've made it this far, I appreciate you so much. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers and we are building something real here. And yeah, it's just the beginning. So with that being said, so please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching this vlog and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.